Well, we have one storm that has caught our attention here in the Weather Center this morning. It's one that's still technically out of our area, but it is getting closer and closer. And this one is probably going to be capable of producing severe weather winds. So let's get to it, shall we? It is a morning where we are waking up to at least a few storms, but this one in particular, right around the North Liberty area. So that is, there's a state park out there as well. That is where we're seeing some gusts, potentially 60, 70 miles per hour. That is why it is a severe warning system that is south of South Bend, that is heading to the far northwestern part of Kosciuszko County. So still, again, outside of our area, but close enough that it bears watching. You can see the path of it, 55 mile per hour or thereabouts speed. So it should be in our area within the next hour. Note the fact that we do have a line developing out to the north of that. So this just may be the first wave of at least a few that could bring us some stronger storms. Let's put everything in motion. So the last 3 hours, it is in essence crossed much of Lake Michigan. This will get here as we get into the early morning hours. So I would say anytime between, let's say, 4, 5, 6 in the morning. This one's just a little bit too fast, but it gives you an idea. If we were to slow it up about a half hour, this would probably be almost out of the area by, I would say, 8 or so this morning. Now, as for today, it will be a day where we could get maybe 1 or 2 to develop south of Fort Wayne during the afternoon or evening, but much of the activity will be well pushed to our south. During the afternoon and evening, we should actually get some clearing, if anything. For tomorrow, it's a relatively quiet day. That's why today, and specifically the morning hours, is going to be our time period of concern. Can't completely rule out an isolated spin up, but winds look to be the predominant threat. In addition to winds, we could be looking at isolated flooding. Think urban flooding, street flooding, or perhaps a low-lying area beginning to get a little bit more water, simply because we could get some torrential downpours in any of these storms. Part of the reason why is our air mass is just completely saturated. It's got a ton of liquid in it, and that's one of the reasons why we are starting this morning in the 70s. Dew points are also in the 70s. If you haven't stepped outside yet, it is air that you can wear. It feels just disgusting outside. This afternoon, it'll be breezy, although we'll see that threat of rain end early for many of us. Still think that there could be at least a shower, thunderstorm somewhere across the southern part of our area during the afternoon and evening. For tonight, it's 62 degrees, a mostly clear night. So again, this is a big pattern shift from what has been a predominantly hot and humid pattern into one that will be a much more, I would say, kind of cool and pretty nice. 80 degrees for tomorrow. Generally sunny outside, a few afternoon or evening clouds. Think Saturday also around 80. Next chance of rain, if there is going to be any, is going to be Sunday. But again, today we are tracking storms. Main threat of severe weather over the next 2 to 3 hours. So all during the morning, we'll keep you updated. And just based on how things are going, nothing right now that screams severe in our area. But we are tracking one storm that may be capable of producing 70 mile per hour winds just outside of it.
Yeah, we're definitely wanting to stay weather aware, and luckily this is early in the morning. People are hopefully inside and not outside in the elements.
That is true. And if you do have a morning commute, please watch a couple minutes before just to get an idea. You may need to go a couple minutes later, or perhaps go a little bit earlier to beat the storms.
All right, Nick, thank you. Coming up next, how to help grieving children. We have more on an event happening tonight.